This is episode 67 of the Thunder Underground podcast. I'm Trent, and as always, I'm joined by Jason.
What's going on?
Not much. We're basically a week removed from Rocklahoma.
Yeah.
And this episode's the first of many that we have interviews that we got while we were at Rocklahoma.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're a week out. Like, how are you fully back to normalcy or whatever? Like recovered, I guess would be the right word.
I'll be honest, no. I still feel a little weird.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't know. I think, I don't know why, but yeah, I still feel a little weird. But that's okay. I'll get through it.
Yeah.
You know, we're on episode 67, which is great. That means that if we were Rudolph Schenker, we would have a kid that's 46 and a kid that's 6 months old.
Right.
So, bam.
If only we were as awesome as Rudolph Schenker.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm still a little frazzled from, 5 days, all that stuff. But that's good.
Yeah.
Why not? You only go around once.
Yeah. It was about the end of the week, Friday, I think I started to feel back to normal. And then then we went to the river, so I'm back to where I started from.
You're back to feeling like ass, aren't you?
Yeah. So maybe next Wednesday, if it's coming Wednesday or something, I'll be all right. But.
Yeah. You'll finally get back to normal human feelings.
Right. Well, if you're new to the podcast or just fairly new, we've got a website, thethunderunderground.com. We've got lots of reviews up there. All the previous podcasts are linked up there, and all our social medias, like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and SoundCloud and all the rest are on there as well. And before we get into this week, as you can tell in the title, we've got some 3D in your face action with Chris and Sam from the band joining us. We're going to play you some music right now from Torpedohead. And this band is out of Germany. We've played them before, and we're playing them again because we fucking love them.
Yeah, they are fucking great. And you guys need to put your ears all the way up to the speaker on this one.
Yeah, brand new album came out in April. The album's called 3, and this track is called Wildfire.
Saw you standing in the back of the room.
Wildfire from Torpedohead from their album 3 came out this past April. I highly suggest you get this album.
Yeah,
I can't stress that enough.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, this is just high energy, just balls swinging, 3-chord, just powerful rock and roll.
Yeah.
And this is a great song. It, I hear sometimes I hear a little bit of Van Halen, kind of at the beginning. Sometimes I hear some Beautiful Creatures, but I always hear badassery.
Badassery, yes.
That's what I hear in this song. It's just catchy. It's, it rocks. It's gritty. I mean, like I said, I hope you guys had your ears all the way up against the speakers, because that's the best way to listen to this song.
Yeah, you just heard that. There's a good chance you're going to be singing it later in your head.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I just listened to it like 4 times in a row.
Because it's one of those songs that you can do that and not get tired
of it. Not get bored, exactly.
And it's like, it's not even, like you said, it's just badassery rock and roll. It's like all the several other songs in the album, like Blood on Wheels and Enough is Enough, Get Off My Back, are a little more gritty and dirtier than this is. But this is just that kind of feel-good rock and roll. It's like, when we talked about it before, I compared it to Backyard Babies, because the vocals and guitar has a lot of that same style going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, when you bring that band up, you got to bring up Social D.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of, it has, obviously, doesn't really sound like Social D, but it's got the elements there where if Social D was a little bit sleazier,
Yeah, definitely.
And then, all that sleaze, LA Guns and Faster Pussycat, and then just like Guns N' Roses used to say, R and F and R. That's what, if you look that up in the dictionary, I would assume there'd be a fucking picture of Torpedohead right there.
That's right. That's right. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you got to look these guys up on Facebook and online. Like I said, Torpedohead, the brand new album, is entitled 3, and this thing's chock full of great music. One more thing to throw in, I assume this is going to be on our end of 2016 best of list, because it's that good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Not to keep rattling on about how great this is, but I need you people to realize that.
We're here for you people. We're helping you out. We're giving you pearls of wisdom. Take it and listen to it.
Yes. Well, speaking of great rock and roll, 3D in Your Face.
Yes.
We caught them live for the first time at Rocklahoma. We had listened to them. We had kind of communicated with them a little leading up to that, because we knew this was one of the bands we wanted to be sure and record an interview podcast with for you.
Yeah.
And very happy with the way it turned out.
Oh, definitely. And they were one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Once we heard them, we were like, we got to get these guys on.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit's right up our alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their album, Midnight Devils, from a couple years ago, we listened to and played a song from it. And then they have a brand new album out called Lost in the Volume. We played Static Renegade just a couple episodes ago in the Rocklahoma preview. The cool thing, I think it was I don't remember if it was in the interview or not, but I remember Sam said that they had people telling them that they had heard of them the first time on our podcast from that preview episode.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And thanks for all of that, for sure.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, because they also gave us compliments after the interview and said it was one of the better interviews they had ever done. Just seemed a little more laid back than your typical generic stuff. So we're always happy to hear that, because that's what we're striving for here.
Yeah. Well, we're not stuffy journalistic fucks. we're music fans. We're rock fans, and that's one of the things that I thought was really great about this interview. Was it was just like a conversation a lot of times. It was just 4 dudes talking about bands, all the bands that we loved, and this and that. And I think that to me is better than just so your new album's out, how do you feel? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it comes across so much better, and it was just such a fun conversation, and I'm really glad that we're finally getting to it.
Yeah. We got Chris Hineline and Sam Spade from 3D in Your Face.
Yes.
Like I said, Lost in the Volume is the new album. Check that thing out. You can buy it on all the online outlets. You can hit them up at 3dinyourface.com and, of course, on Facebook. So, with all that being said, let's just do this. Right?
Hell yeah. Get into it.
tours constantly all throughout the year. We never take time out. And we started an acoustic band. So if 3D's not playing, we got this acoustic band that we put together, him and I, that plays like small town dive bars exclusively. Yeah. So you just go into these little shitty redneck bars and just play rock and roll music for these people, and they love it. It kind of keeps it
always good food. Always good food. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a story.
When we walk in, you get this. Oh Lord.
Usually, the shittier the place looks, the better the food is.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a fact. And so by the end of the show, we've won over most of them. We start talking about tractors or barbed wire fences or whatever. We really win them over, man.
That's awesome. Well, we saw earlier, we were on the showers and we saw that bus. How long have you guys had that bus?
15 years about.
That thing's epic.
Yeah, we bought it from a Christian band, actually had it before we did.
Yes.
Back when we used to party.
If the walls could talk.
If the walls could talk, yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. There's pee, semen, foot smell. It's got quite a few variety of odors in there. But we don't smell too good right now. So
when we got it, the paint was all new.
Oh, really?
The stickers look good.
Do you know how many miles you guys have racked on that?
No, I don't even want to know. They said the engine will run forever, though. That's what they told me.
Nothing else will, but the engine will.
There you go. Nice.
So when are you guys driving, or you got someone?
The singer drive. He drove the whole way.
Okay.
Wow.
And I stayed up with him. So we finished the show, packed up the bus. We're out.
Yeah, we played with...
you did a show last night?
We played with Sons of Texas and Texas Hippie Coalition last night.
Oh, wow.
In Omaha. And then loaded up the bus and drove down here.
So here's a question. You guys, obviously Omaha, you've got a fan base built in, but those are two bands that are a little bit different style than you guys. So is the crowd reaction good to you guys? Or?
It was interesting to begin with because we walked out with the makeup and the hair, and everybody's like, it was a biker crowd, so they're like, fucking pussies. When we start playing it, and our music is kind of, it's a mix of metal and punk rock and rock and roll, and I can guarantee by then we won them over. I saw them dancing, boogieing. They're having a good time.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of patch-wearing bikers all dancing around. It was cool.
They grab you and put your head like, you guys fucking rock! And you're like, thanks, man.
Noogies.
And we brought some cute girls to the show, which wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Right.
Great.
That's awesome.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, have you done a lot of shows with bands like that? They're different genres, or?
Generally, we play with our guys that came from the 80s. We get on
Warren, Great White,
the national bills, kind of the opening slots.
We've opened for Warren, Great White, Trickster, quite a few of the
it was a big festival,
quote unquote 80s hair metal band kind of guys.
Yeah,
and we're the same genre, so we do really well there.
Right.
Well, I've noticed, in the, in saying all those kind of bands and those genres, but you guys have sometimes you guys sound like this, sometimes you guys, and like we said, that newest one has like a Michael Monroe thing. I mean,
that is such a huge compliment to me and him because we were giant Hanoi Rocks fans.
Yeah,
I bought the record and I listened to that. It's funny. I think I mentioned that. I bought that the last record and I listened to it throughout the whole writing process. And it's weird how it rubbed off on me and him, and we didn't even know. We had no idea that influence would be there in the writing.
Yeah, I think that just that you can span all that, but still stay true to. That's just awesome. That's great.
I think that's how you do it. Have to do it, not stay dated.
Yeah.
Not stick in that category.
I don't think our music is dated by any means. I think it's because he comes from more of a punk background, and I come from more of like a guitar player, hard rock background, and we kind of meld it together. We get songs like Static Renegade or 2 Miles Down, or where we. I think if I wrote the song myself, it would sound way different, and if he wrote the song himself, it would sound way different. But when we collaborate, it seems like the best music we've come up with is when we collaborate, because it's pretty vain to think you're great by yourself, But if you're like, hey man, we're a great team, it seems like. And Spade is, he writes most of the lyrics. I write most of the music. That usually works. I usually show him an idea, and he's like, I got this great idea. Then we fist fight in the basement over how it's going to go, and then it comes up, and then we show it to the guys. And that's how it usually works. So nice.
Well, do you guys do it? Well, you said lyrics and music. Do you do it separately, or do you have lyrics all the time, or do you hear music? Or?
It's kind of like I tell everybody this. What happens to us as we're out on the road? Since this band has been going, it was 2 years in between records. like every song is kind of like a true life story of what we saw and what I saw and what I was going through, or like what chick was talking to me at this time and what she said or anything like that. So it's all kind of based in reality, and not like it just kind of comes to me.
Usually what happens at sound check, I go, dude, check this out.
I got this riff.
I'll play him a little thing, and he'll put his phone down, and he'll make a little mental note or note on it, and then he'll say, play like that 4 times, and this 4 times, and this 4 times, and then like a week he's like, I got us a song. I'm like, sweet, and then we just kind of go from there, and then that's how it usually works. Mm-hmm. There's only a couple times we've actually presented songs by ourselves where we said, Spade solely wrote this one, or I solely wrote this one, and they're a little bit different than the rest of the material we do. So I like it better when we collaborate. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it sounds better to me personally if we collaborate than go by yourself, because I don't know, just that's the way it worked out for us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of the great bands, Aerosmith, Zeppelin, GNR, all that stuff. Was 2 writers. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's like we put this record out. You gotta start thinking about the next one, and that's like a monumental task. And you gotta start
first thing I said to him, we're done. I'm like, I wrote 4 songs. Let's go.
I'm like, damn, I gotta start catching up here. I need some stories. I gotta do some living.
Yeah.
So is that like you start thinking of that like the minute
pretty much,
or do you just kind of give it some time and play these?
Actually, I was like, we were both like, let's put 2 more songs on the record. Let's put and we just ran out of time, is what it is, and. He had a couple songs, I had a couple songs that were like partials but not complete, so we needed more time and we just didn't get the time. And it's funny how it turns out, because when we initially started writing for this record, I had came up with a song, and I wanted to name the song, or the album after the song, and we're like, it's going to be great, we're going to do this, the album cover, we had all 4 times, and then I don't know who it was, but he comes to me, he's like, dude, Rihanna named a song after the song. I'm like, what? So when you Google it, her name came up. We're like, well, we have to change the name, but now we can't do that. And that was probably a year ago or 2 years ago. And so I was devastated, because I was like, I'm leading the charge on this. We're going to name the record this. And then I'm like, so what do you want to call it again?
And that's you said coming out soon, or is it you have
already out?
We've got to bring some. Yeah,
we'll bring some over for you.
We'll bring some over.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we forgot. That's my fault. I said, let's go. We're gonna
they asked if it was going to be out back a few months ago. And I was like, we don't know.
Friday.
It was like right to the day.
Yeah, last Friday, I think, is when it came out, right?
And we got the CDs in on Monday, so it was like, perfect. We didn't know.
We had to listen to it, because the last time, the fiasco with the CD.
They shipped us 1,000 CDs. We were like, we opened the box, we're like, we got our CDs.
Yeah, but we have a CD release party on Friday. We got the CDs on Thursday, that like less than 20 hours before, and we're like, should we listen to one? We're like, yes. And so all the artwork was great, everything. We open it up, and we put it on. It's like, it's like a country song, and I'm like, what? Wait, is that what's going on here? So we open like 20 CDs, they're all wrong. All of them.
They put the wrong music on.
Yeah. And we're like this. We got a CD release party, and we gotta sell all these. And
Spinal Tap for
it
sure.
was. I just started laughing, and like, what's so funny? I'm like, because Billy Bob Brubeck and the B Notes just got our record. And they're like, what? This ain't country. They're listening to like Forbidden City and just going, oh my god. So the guy at the console is probably really high and just put the wrong number in. So we got the country music, and they got the metal music, and we're like, wow. So that was interesting, but that only to me, that's why I figured only to me would that happen.
Wow.
So
that's insane.
Well, have you got a response yet from people in the past week?
Yeah, they love it. And what we've got is, the most thing is that we've kind of grown as writers, which I think is a very good compliment. I'm taking it as a compliment. That the music on the Midnight Devils record was kind of party-oriented rock and roll, which is great. I love it. And then this one is kind of, you can tell that 2 years have passed, and that we've grown as musicians and writers and kind of getting into our element, getting into our speed. I think it's making a sound for ourselves, making our own sound, not following anybody else.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That way we have the chance to mix with the Texas Hippie Coalition or whichever.
That's right.
So is it are you 2 guys only original, or is the full band original members?
The singer is the original guy from the way back 19 years ago, or 17 years ago. He's the guy that started the whole thing. And then we've kind of been in for about 5 or 6 years, and 2 records, and then the drummer's the newest addition. But we just that was the trouble. We had trouble keeping a drummer that wanted to do it long term and do it the way we wanted to do it. And after 2 years, we're just like, we got to get this fucking record out. So I'm sorry, I swore. I don't know if you're allowed to swear.
Nah, hey, go right ahead.
He does
So-
all the time.
Oh.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you know them fucking drummers. You know how they are.
But it was like the band was like when we joined the band. When I joined, I was the guitar tech. I started out with the guy on stage managing all these guys, and it was a party band. Everybody was drinking, doing drugs, having a good time. You know, and they were playing all these small town places, and it was fun. It was a way to stay on the road. And then it turned into, hey, we got to write records and put out our own songs. That's the only way we're going to sustain a career.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I remember they called me up. I played with the singer years ago in a different band, and they're like, "Hey, our guitar player's not showing up. Can you come up and fill in for us?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure." So I drove up and filled in, and they're like, "Would you like to join the band?" I'm like, "Let me think about it." And I thought over the weekend, and that was like 5 or 6 years ago, wasn't it? Because your band, you were in another punk band that you opened for him, something Thieves or something. I can't remember. He was playing punk, and he was fronting the band and playing guitar and singing some punk music, and I just went up there cold and looked at the song and said, "Yeah, I can get to most of these," and went, and then I joined, and then they started flipping out because I'm like, "Look, we're gonna practice, we're gonna learn a song," and they were there like, "Oh my god, what the hell happened?" I'm like, we ain't gonna be just drinking to get stupid. We're gonna get serious here. And then a couple guys dropped off real quick because they didn't want to, they were heavily influenced by alcohol and drugs. I'm like, I'm not having it, man. Not having it. You want to drink a few, I don't care, but you can't get stupid and not have a car or a job or show up to practice or show up 5 minutes for the gig, and I just can't have that. And so we lost a couple guys along the way to alcohol and drugs, and drummers and bass players and whatever else. It's been a long road though, the last 5 or 6 years now. Drummer issues. So here we are. The record should have been out a year ago, but it's not. It's out this week. So
yeah. Always the drummers and the bass players.
And that's Spinal Tap again.
Yeah. We go through drummers like nobody's business.
That's crazy.
I think it's because you're a dick.
Probably. You know what? I was in the Army for 11 years, and I'm like this. 15 minutes early, man. 15 minutes early. And the thing is, I'm just like, I give the dad look when something ain't right. I'm like, I give the Clint Eastwood squint, the dad look, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, you need to practice that, And
well, if you're going to do this for real, you kind of have to be a dick every now and then. In a way.
They say being a dick. I say putting intensity and effort into it. And the thing is Spade, we're the same person. He just goes about doing it different than I do. I'm just like, I don't care what they think. I just say what I think. And he's just like, so do you think we could maybe change that part? And I'm like, no. and he's all diplomatic about it. And I'm just like, change it. And so he's the nice guy of the band. I'm the guy that's the slave driver that gets everything that's like, we do it or else. And that's why all the girls like him. Because he's nice.
Not today.
All the boyfriends want to talk to me.
Not today.
Yeah. All the guys want to talk to me about guitar. Hey, what kind of guitar are you using there? Or what kind of amp are you using? I'm like, where's your girlfriend at? Oh, talking to Spade. That makes sense.
Well, going way back, what got you into music in the first place?
Mine
Was it punk or was it something else?
It was Kiss. It was the first band that I ever got into. Going back is the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. Yeah.
For me,
absolutely love
I saw Elvis on the TV show, the '68 comeback special. Was a repeat, like later on, and I'm like, Elvis was wearing the black leather, and he just did that little thing in the round, and I was like, that dude is cool, And I'm like, this before he was all fat and bloated, and he was like, he was 68, so he was looking amazing, and he did the songs, and I'm like, I bet that dude gets more ass in a toilet seat. I'm like, holy shit, is he cool, And then I discovered like the Who and Kiss. And Beach Boys were never really top of my list, but I do like them, But Spade said he liked Elvis too. But
and then it was like it was Kiss, and then Kiss turned into like the New York Dolls.
Oh yeah,
which turned into like the Ramones, and then you're into that whole like subgenre of like glam punk and all this stuff mixed together. That's where it comes from. It's just the mix, the combining it in the pot.
Yeah.
And then it took me forever to learn how to play guitar, so that helped being in a punk band. Not having good equipment and not knowing how to play your guitar. We're like, we got a van and we got 3 shows booked. Let's go.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Lots of A chords. Just don't move your hand. Just
got
don't move your hand. You're good.
Perfect.
Tuning. Fuck tuning. Let's jam.
Lots of A chords. That's awesome. That's going to be a hashtag. I love that. That's great.
Were you into the glam and 80s stuff too, or was that just you like back?
Yeah, no, that was it. It was I hated everything else, and when I was growing up, which would have been like early 2000s, when I was just coming of age musically. It was like Kid Rock and Korn would just come out, and there's all these bands that I was just like, there's no guitar solos. There's, I just want to hear Kiss. There wasn't anything cool happening that I thought was cool. I wasn't really with it. Nothing mainstream on MTV was happening. So that's how I got into the cool stuff. The guys that were putting on shows.
Yeah.
It's visual. You remember seeing Kiss for the first time and just like
Fire, guitar, loud, smoke. Yeah.
Well, and that's awesome that, you came up during that time, but you still knew enough to know that, this...
It was new metal. New metal was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it just...
Yeah.
It was tough. It's tough for all bands. Nobody was really doing anything.
That was a brutal time.
Yeah.
Was,
if you had a DJ, you might have made it through, but other...
Yeah.
That was... Because I was playing in cover bands, and I was just like... I am a giant Van Halen, George Lynch kind of guitar player guy, and so I hear these tunes and I'd be like, hey, let's open the night with Cumbersome. I'm like, can't we learn a Van Halen song? I was playing these cover bands and playing what just stung, and it's not that they're bad, I just don't like it, like Bad Girlfriend and, I'm Dirtbag or whatever, and I'm like, these songs are just killing my soul. I hate them. There's no guitar solos, lots of drop D and open strumming chords, and I was like, ugh. And all my gear was like, I had like a really blazing amp and a really cool guitar that was like more towards playing like George Lynch and Eddie Van Halen and that shredding kind of guitar, and I was just like, it just seemed like so, like, it's driving a Ferrari like 5 miles an hour, and I'm like, God, this is killing me.
School zone or something.
And so the guys that get mad if at the end of a song I go, they'd be like, look at me like I just killed their dog. I'm like, come on, man. And so I was in this band, I won't mention their names, I don't want to give it, but we played some of the crappiest music ever, and a couple guys I didn't like, and I'm like, it's amazing how long you'll play in a band with somebody you don't like just to keep playing, And I was like, and then finally an offer came from someone else. I'm like, okay, see you later, guys. Spade actually came and saw me on the last couple of his gigs, and he just was like, your body language is so bad, dude. I'm like, I know, I can't even hardly take it anymore.
Couldn't hide it.
Yeah, I was just like, the singer showed up in flip-flops and shorts, and I was like, at a gig, I'm like, you're on stage to perform. You got to look like you're in the band, not one of the beach bums. And I'm like, he's in flip-flops and plaid shorts. Remember that? And he were laughing, and I'm like, don't laugh, man. It's just making it worse.
It's 100 degrees, we're in leather jackets, and he's like flip-flops. Like, man, it's hot up here. Shut up. Get up there and sing.
And he was so... It was bad.
He was like reading the lyrics to Crazy Bitch. Like singing Crazy Bitch, reading the lyrics. And I'm like, you gotta get out of this band, bro. This is terrible.
I know, I'm like, I did as a favor to a friend who said, I need it for 2 more dates. And I was like, it's terrible. No originals, no promise, just all that crappy music I didn't dig. No guitar solos.
Well, you brought up something, about the flip-flops and stuff. It's like, that's what I think is cool about you guys. I mean, you guys walk in the room, well, that's the band. And that's what I think is, missing a lot of times.
Yeah. It's been all day for us. We didn't know anybody. We knew you guys, and that was about it. We never met you guys. But as soon as we pulled in, people have been talking to us, taking pictures with us all day long.
Yeah.
We're handing out flyers that people know who we are. We've never even been here before. It's amazing. It's the coolest feeling I've ever had.
It was fun. It was cool.
These guys were like, some guy was showing him his iPhone. He's like, look, I got your albums on here. I'm like, don't even know what this guy is. It's great.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said that they were listening to this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, we heard you guys on Thunder Underground. We're like, we love the music. We dig it. I'm like, how those worlds cross is really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's cool.
It is. Yeah,
that's great.
No joke on that.
Yeah, like the first 3 years out here, we're all glam and 80s rock. And they changed, the 4th year to what it is now, where it's a mix of everything. Mm-hmm. But, Sam with Retrospect, I'm sure you guys know from booked over there, like, has done a great job of keeping that feeling alive, where there's something more to it with bands like you guys instead of just staring at your shoes. And
he sends us
3 hours
messages.
down or whatever,
He's like, he's a good dude, and he goes, I get pigeonholed into booking bands that wear makeup and have big hair and have tight pants. But I didn't book you guys for that reason. I booked you guys because you guys do what you do and you do it good. You put on a show for people. You're here to play rock and roll music. It's not about what you look like, but it helps that you put on a show. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to give the best quality show for the buck. And he's a good dude. We just met him for the
We
first
met
time
for the first
today.
time this morning, yeah.
We talk on the phone, but today we was just like smoking a cigarette, like, fuck, they're killing my soul. And I'm like, how's it going, man? He's a good dude.
Yeah, we had him here last night, and he was telling us all those.
Was he all riled up last night?
Yeah. He had all kinds of awesome stories.
Yeah.
And a buddy of ours is he's working the grounds and working, and he came this morning. He goes, man, do you guys know this retrospect guy? He came in this morning just chewing everybody out, and I was like, yes, fuck yes, that's awesome. So yeah, he's not messing around either. That's great.
I called him at 7 in the morning, left him a message. I'm like, we're here. And then I texted him, like, hey, we need to get in. And he sent back a message, who is this? And I didn't respond because I was asleep. And he goes, don't ever text this number ever again. I was like, hey, this is Sam from 3D.
We're kind of locked out.
here.
We need to get in.
That's insane.
We have to play tonight. So.
So when you guys are putting your set together, is it like now with the new album, is the majority of it new stuff, or you guys mix it?
We threw a few older ones in there, like In Your Face, and
The songs that got us here.
yeah,
Right.
that's what
Yeah.
we agreed. We said we need to play 2 or 3 songs that actually got the attention of Sam and some of the fans to get us here, so they know that we're I mean, that's still us, obviously, but there's 3 of the older ones, and the rest are mostly new material that. We got the CD with us, so we might as well try to push that and sell a few of those. So
Yeah.
there's some good ones on there.
And you probably really dig playing the new stuff. Amps you up a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Because you hardly played it at all. Maybe 2 or 3 times in front of people. Again, we played it on the record, but it's 2 or 3 times in front of people. So we did a show last night where we played all new ones except for like 1 or 2. Yeah, no covers. We played all originals last night, and it went pretty good, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
We won them over by the end of the night. It was
yeah.
a little heavier crowd than because of the hippie Texas, and then Sons of Texas. It was all right.
Yep.
I had a good time. I just heard my guitar and go.
Yeah, there
You
you
know.
go.
Oh yeah, Nebraska. Like it's kind of like Oklahoma. You don't think of this style of music when you think of Nebraska. So like, is there a good scene there, like rock music wise?
Yes, absolutely. It surprised you how good of a scene that is in Omaha and Lincoln. Lincoln is amazing. It's the town I live in. They got a ton of great venues. Omaha has a bunch of up and coming bands. There's 2 other bands from Omaha here at the festival as well. So it's great. There's just a huge support system for arts and entertainment in Omaha, and everybody just is out supporting everybody. As long as you're doing it from the heart, people will come and watch it. If they can tell it's fake, nobody's gonna show up.
Yeah.
If they tell you're doing it for money, nobody's gonna show up. And that's the thing. Word gets around town if people are assholes or anything like that.
Oh, they're reading their text on stage while they're
Right.
playing.
They're like,
Or
we
you're
wanna
like,
come see
oh
them.
my lord, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? They're looking on the phone while they're playing.
You've seen that?
I have actually seen that with my own eyes.
That's
A cover
nuts.
band. Singer sat on the drum riser. Started checking his messages.
That's insane.
Guitar solo's going. He's like, and then he started singing again. Wrong part, by the way. He got lost in the text. He's like, "Oh, I'm singing the wrong words." So.
We always say, like, we love traveling, we love getting out and seeing new places, but going back home to Nebraska is always feels good for some reason to us. And especially, I see it with the Midnight Devils, the acoustic shows that we do, is you go to these small towns and they eat it up because they don't get stuff like that. So we do a lot of street dances, stuff like that in Nebraska and Iowa, and these people just go bananas because they don't get stuff like that every day.
Yeah.
They don't
What
get
kind
it.
of stuff are you guys playing? Or
Well,
the covers you said on the acoustic stuff, I mean?
Oh, the acoustics, that was really cool because we get to do whatever we want. There's no rules. We play Elvis, we play David Bowie, and these are in like hick bars. We're playing David Bowie covers, and these guys are like, they don't know what's the thing. They're like,
It's true.
you know,
We win them over, though.
at the end,
We
yeah,
win them over.
and you like play like Leonard Skinner, and they just love it. And like 2 guys wearing eyeshadow and hair up to here playing Leonard Skinner in a small town dive bar.
That's great.
You can't beat that. Saturday night.
It is. It usually starts out, look at them queerosexuals, and then it turns into, "You guys are all right, man. You guys are all right." And you're like, "Thanks, man." It really. We call it the walk-in when you're carrying your guitars in initially. The looks you get from
They're
everybody. It's just like the Bob Seger song. They're like, "Oh,
They're eating dinner,
my
they're like,
lord." is that a guy or a chick or what is that? And you're like, hey, bud, you know, and you just come in and try to do what you can.
Well, when you guys do acoustic, do you do like your songs?
Yeah.
Do you change it up, or
We
just
do.
kind of doing pretty much?
We do. Well, we got to, we got to switch them a little bit because obviously you can't hide behind the volume and all the sustain and everything. So we play some originals and kind of from the first album and from the new album, and kind of switch them up a little bit. Obviously, I can't be as ferocious on guitar because there's no sustain and stuff. But we have fun and we do stuff and we change them and get the audience. Spade goes in the crowd and gets the crowd singing along with some of the songs. From the previous album, Bleed Betty Bleed, he goes on the crowd. Now another one called Memphis Smile, which is on the new record. He'll get in the crowd and get them to sing along with us. And even on a couple of covers,
dancing on the bars and stuff like that.
Breaking the bars,
broke a
breaking
bar in my
chairs.
hometown, broke the bar,
We're doing all kinds of stuff. And you know what? They love it. They guys try and eat a cheeseburger and a beer, and you stepped on the cheeseburger and knocked the beer over, and the guy's like, what kind of bar am I in? Some hippie 70s guy, and you're like, oh, that's so awesome. He stepped on my cheeseburger and knocked my beer over, and he's like, but it was fun. So I called my friend, and he came down too, and you're like, great, it worked. Pork tenderloin, actually, I believe it was, not a cheeseburger. Pork tenderloin. Good time. And so we, getting back to this, we change them a little bit, and I do, on occasion, bring an electric guitar with me to kind of fill up a little bit of he'll play acoustic and I'll play electric on a song, then we'll play both the acoustic, and we just jump around a little bit and play some 80s hits, some 70s hits, play some Who, some Skinner, some Stones.
Whatever we want, that's the coolest thing.
And we do David Bowie tunes.
Yeah. So it's different every show?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
we're like, let's play this one, and we'll bust one out that we don't normally play.
We play the originals. The cool thing is we play the originals every night.
Oh, yeah,
you
absolutely.
put them in there every. You're like, this is what got us into this spot in the first place. So we'll play them every night, no matter who's in the audience. I don't care.
And we do have some fans that will follow us around from show to show because we play hour and a half from our home base, and so they'll jump in the car and follow us. And so sometimes they're the only ones that like play along with us and sing and everything. But by the end of the night, everybody's kind of into it. We played a couple places. I think we played an outdoor show where it was all our fans in the crowd except for like 3 people. I'm like, thank God they showed up. Because it would have been a long night otherwise, Yeah. And it was the first outdoor show of the year for us, for the Midnight Devils. So it was all right. The thing I remember most about is I smelled burnt trash. Somebody's burning trash right by there. I'm like, is that burnt plastic? What is that? I'm like, it's affecting the pipes. I can't see.
Nice.
But it kept the bugs away, so that was good.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to covers, I mean, what are you guys' favorite ones to do?
Wow.
Like, you had like 1 or 2, like, yes, I get to play this now.
Spade?
Mine are the deep cuts that we don't get to play very often.
Yeah.
Like, you play LA Guns or Faster Pussycat, Shotgun Messiah.
Shotgun
Those
Messiah.
cool ones.
Shotgun Messiah.
Heartbreak
Cool
Boulevard.
ones. Dude, I haven't heard that fucking name in years. That's badass.
So those are the funnest ones to play. Although everybody just sits there and watches you because they're like,
Yeah, but we are totally stoked.
yeah, we're
like,
like,
Well, they might think it's y'all's, and there you go.
We used to play a song by Dokken called Tooth and Nail that has a ferocious guitar solo. We used to open with that, and I loved opening with that one. I'd be in the back room warming up because it's a real, and
people just sit there like,
they're just like, oh my god, and I'm like, we did it like 6 times and we never played it ever again. I'm like, why don't we do that anymore? And of course, Unchained by Van Halen is one of my favorite songs we ever play, and that's different every night because I just do what I do. I don't know. Everybody gets mad at me because I just go off on a tangent or something. Spade don't care. He's just playing. Hey, he's like, I'll sit up here all night. I don't care.
as long as the girls are.
Yeah.
We actually saw Lynch Mob a few weeks ago, and he played Tooth and Nail.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yes, he is the man. I love George
They
Lynch.
played like a motorcycle
Mr.
show at the fairgrounds, and there was like 60 people there. It was insane. It was like,
Only still got the pipes?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
He's
sounds
yeah,
great.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
He did really good. Yeah.
And what's his name on bass? I never
Oh,
realized
Sean
he,
McNabb from Great
Yeah,
White was
all
I
right.
never
amazing.
realized how good he was.
And
man.
he did a solo and was just going. It was insane. Yeah, it was great.
He got fired from Dokken, didn't he?
I know how did
For
that
playing
happen?
a pick, remember?
How does that happen? How do you find somebody with a pick?
What?
He was in Dokken.
We
got fired.
We were doing that show. We did a date with Dokken up in that awesome biker nights, and they were the band. That's amazing. We're like, wow. And we were like, I'm like, the drummer's amazing, the bass player and guitar player. And I'm like, how do you fire that guy? He was backup vocals, was solid. I'm like, he was great.
Wow.
They fired him for playing with the pick. That's amazing. I'm like,
That's insane.
I don't get that either. 60 people, huh? That's just shame,
It was bizarre, but I mean, they didn't care. They still put on a fucking great show. And but the people that were there were really into it right up. So the energy, it didn't falter. So it was pretty cool,
I do love George, so.
Yeah. Or did you see that they're doing some reunion shows in Japan?
Saw that. They're nothing in the U.S. yet, though, right?
Everybody's doing it now.
And McBride even said it's for the wrong reason, but they're doing it anyway.
You gotta love Nick Brown.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
He was playing with Ted that night. We saw him. We saw Ted Nugent in a place, and Nick Brown was on drums. We're like, yeah, man. They were good that night too. Ted. It reminded me of being a 13-year-old kid in my room playing the records, trying to learn like a stranglehold solo, and just be like. It was weird because no one, like, it was everybody's in their seats, and me, Sam, and like a couple of people went up to the front of the stage, and we just kind of like mesmerized by Ted and his guitar, and then we were like, I was telling Sam, that was just so great. That was so awesome. Just the power of his guitar and his loudness and everything. All politics aside, I don't care about all that. I just wanted to see him play guitar, and Stranglehold and Hey Baby and, all the great songs. Just like, too short of a set for me personally, but you could go 3.5.
The Great White Buffalo.
I wanted to hear all of them, but but seriously, Derek Holmes sounded great. It was a great night, and that's one thing. Mick Brown was awesome, and I was like, it's a good band, and Mick Brown is good. I wish they would do some USA stuff.
Yeah.
Doc, and I don't know if they will or not. I would love to see it though.
We'll see.
Well, you mentioned early on, or you've already said a couple stories, but about these dive bars, good stories. You got anything that pops in your head?
We were talking about one last night. I did an interview, and the guy was asking, like, what are the crazy shows that you've done? And this is the one that popped into my mind is we got hired to play, it was a beach party. And so we're driving the bus, like, onto this beach, and we're like, oh, how are we going to get this? Like, there's sand everywhere. And we're driving.
We had to carry everything up through the sand. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I was just like, everything's heavy.
And then, so they put us on, like, a flat, with, like, the Jaeger stage over here, a flatbed trailer.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like 2 hay racks, and they were like wood. And imagine them just like stacking some loose firewood like this and stick it up, and so you walk on it, it's all rickety. And I'm like, is this gonna? Oh my lord! You couldn't. It's just like everything was rickety. There's nothing.
It was like even it out. There was like driftwood they pulled out of the lake to put underneath the stage. And nobody came. There was like 3 people there. Everybody was just watching from their house.
And everybody was like, it was like there was some beach houses, so it's beach and then this yard. And our soundman's like, I'm not getting Sandy, and he set up at this guy's yard. And then so there's all these people out in their backyard at a picnic table watching us. And so at one point we're playing a cover song, Motley Crue, Girls, 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 and the singer invites all these girls on stage. And now I'm going to be as kind as I possibly can.
Yes, I already
They
know
were not.
it's
They
gonna
were
be great.
not what I would consider lightweight by any means. Okay, and so they get on the stage, and my amp is just like swinging like this, and I'm going Spade, Spade, and so he's trying to hold my amp up while these girls, and of the large variety, we're dancing on the stage, jumping up and down, and I'm just like every amp, every light, everything's just shaking. I'm just like this stage is going to fall. We're going to go in the lake, so let's do it. And then finally they got off, and I'm just like, I'm looking at Spade, he's looking at me, and we're like, what was that?
It was like 100 degrees that day. The lighting guy, he sees that there's one of those blobs in the lake, and all the kids are on, those big inflatable things. He's like, I'm going out there. I'm like,
you got to tell
you
me who he looks like, though.
It looks exactly like Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy. He looks like Ron Jeremy.
Hairy, and he's like, I'm going out there. I'm like, man, it smells like lake all day. You don't want to go out there. He's like, no, I'm doing it. I'm out there. Next thing you know, you see him like Baywatch running into the lake, like diving on the thing, shooting kids off the top. He comes back, he's all sunburned. He's like, I don't feel so good.
He's smoking a cigarette. I had a good time, though. And you're like, Dave, you're all yeah, but I had a good time. I'm going to have some hot dogs now. And you're like, scared all the little kids with a hairy hedgehog. It's so scary.
That's great.
So who are you guys looking forward to seeing out here?
We're really looking. I mean, the big one, the obvious one is the Scorpions.
Totally,
right?
Yeah.
Love the Scorpions.
The rumor is that it's their last date in the States.
Yeah.
In forever,
For real? I hadn't heard that.
I was listening to Trump Nation. They say they're going to Europe and doing a few things, and they're not coming back. I don't think so.
Wow.
Steel Panther.
Sebastian Bach.
Obviously. Megadeth.
Night Rain. We're boys from Sweden, I believe. And
Yeah.
Nice.
They're right after us on the Jaeger stage tonight.
Been hanging with them all day.
Yeah.
They're walking around. It's good, they'll like this. They're walking around, and the guy's like got bleach blonde hair, he's got no shirt on. And they're white. I mean, they're like sweet. And somebody's like, you might want to put some sunscreen on. You are going to burn. It's like, what?
He's wearing
Like
shorts, tennis shoes, no flip-flops, and that's it. And I'm just like...
these boys are going to burn.
He's wearing sunglasses, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're like...
They're going to be good, though. And Freeway Mad from the UK. I'm excited to see them.
I think there are 2 this morning at the Jaeger stage.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Last in Line.
Oh, yes. I was talking about that on the way up here.
I mean,
yes.
we love that album, and we want to see how this guy handles all that.
Is Vivian playing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
wow.
Vivian and all that. So, I mean, I can't wait.
Vivian and Vinny and
Vinny, yeah.
Yeah.
You got... I mean, Dio. Good Lord.
Yeah.
That guy. I saw him
exactly.
once.
You're just going to be crying on the audience.
Yeah.
I just... I'm not usually a fan.
Ronnie.
I'm usually not a fanboy. We've been to a few shows together. I'm usually like, I'm over. Where was that fanboy at? Van Halen. Oh God!
I've never seen him take a picture of a band.
I never pull my phone out at shows because I think it's. I'm in the band. I'm like, put your goddamn phone away. Like the band. And so they're like, what do you do? I'm like, nothing. Because we got up as my birthday and they upgraded me. They upgraded us like 20 rows up, and so we were really close to Eddie. And I'm like, this is like a fucking dream come true, man.
you can make exceptions for Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, I'm like, don't judge.
He's like, don't talk to me. It's Eddie's solo. Don't talk.
Yeah. There was like a 15-minute break where I'm like, no one is allowed to address me while King Edward is playing his solo.
That's right.
Yeah, and they were actually really, really good that night. I was like, wow.
Nice.
So is that your favorite guitarist of all time, probably?
Edward Van... I have like 3 that are like a 3-way tie. I love Pete Townsend. I think his rhythms were just so unorthodox and so original, and I love. Plus, he invented power chords and bashing your guitar, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen, yeah, without a doubt. That's probably my top 2 right there.
We got third one.
Ace Frehley right there.
Oh,
That's
Nice.
actually, I probably wore out 4 Alive records trying to learn the solos off them because I love that album so much. Third song, Got to Choose. That's still my favorite guitar solo by Ace Frehley to this day. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, I get orgasm face. Oh, I get goosebumps. I'm like, it's so good, so good.
So are you accepting to Tommy Thayer, or are you one of the people that's like F him?
I am. You know what? This is a funny story. We're going to see Kiss in Lincoln in just in July here, and I accept it for what it is. It's Kiss, and I get to see Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. Yeah. And obviously it's not the Peter Criss race, but I have seen the original band in '96, and I don't know how to say. Tommy plays it better than Ace, but Ace wrote it. So that you just that it's
Tommy
that
was
dilemma.
available in black and blue.
I mean, that's how you got to look at it. Like,
Well, Ace has that style and that aura.
Mhm.
It's like Buckethead's better than Slash, but it's not
who wrote
as
it?
good,
yeah,
Exactly.
agreed. He wrote it, but right now Tommy plays it better because he's been playing it for so long compared to but I love Ace. That's the whole thing. I love Ace.
Well, okay. First of all, the album that Ace put out a year or 2 ago was great, and then the cover album that he just put out was fucking love that thing.
It's got White Room on it, man.
Yeah. And we always talk about how just like it's just hot. It's like way hotter than it's badass. So that's that's
the
cool
album art's
Ace.
cool.
Yeah. Ace is, he's still. I think the thing with Kiss is that they haven't done anything. And I get this. No one wants some. You go see a concert, no one wants to hear new material. They want to hear all the hits, and so Kiss only has 2 hours to play all the hits, so they buzz through them, so they play all the big stuff, and so there's no room for new material. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm like, God dang, I want to hear Love It Loud. God dang, I want to hear this. God dang, well they didn't play. They don't play it, so. You're like, they're going to play this new song I've never heard of, that on an album I didn't know was released. I'm like, no. And plus, you got to admit, Kiss is so huge. You're like, oh boy, I love all the old stuff too. And the pre-makeup, or when they weren't wearing makeup, that stuff's great. The makeup was great. Then they went back to the makeup, and you're like, well, boy, Revenge, all the albums are so good.
Yeah.
Revenge is my favorite album.
See.
Yeah.
You know,
Like if I could pick just a set list, it would be Revenge front to back and Crazy Nights front to back.
Yeah. That's pretty good. You like this?
I would pay to see that.
Would you get Rock and Roll Night and Party Days encore in there? You know? Yeah. You gotta hear God of Thunder, so he flies and spits blood. Come on,
sure.
you know.
You're a non-makeup Kiss believer.
I
respect that.
I do too.
I love Bruce. I think
Bruce is amazing. Yeah. You know, great guitar player. He's playing with
Grand Funk.
Yeah,
that's right. He's Grand Funk's guitar player.
Yeah, he's been Grand Funk forever.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player. Yeah.
Did you like Union?
Yeah, I saw him. Kiss convention.
We were just talking about this.
Amazing Kiss.
I'm a fanboy of John Corabi. Big time.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up something like you said earlier, kind of about taking pictures at shows and videos. We saw Corabi at a little club in Tulsa, and there was some guy who was he was really tall, and it was a small club with a stage that wasn't off the floor very much, and this guy was really tall, and he had his phone or a GoPro.
No, it was a tablet.
A tablet.
So it's
taking a video the whole time, right in John Corabi's face. And to me, that pissed me off.
You could tell he looked a little annoyed, but he was cool.
He never said nothing, and he played right into it. But I don't know, if it was me, I would have grabbed it and just threw it. But I mean, because I hate that kind of shit.
Or pulled the Tommy Lee and told him to put their fucking phone down.
Yeah,
you kind of notice it after a while. Like you see in the front row as they're playing, it's like I've had a camera in my face now for the last 2 hours.
Yeah,
it gets old.
I don't mind the occasional, like you're playing a guitar solo and someone takes a picture of it. I don't like that they're looking through their phone the whole show at you.
Yeah.
And we have some fans that do that, and we're like, and I don't want to say anything to make them mad.
Right.
I want them to keep buying merch and coming back.
Yeah.
But
hey, well, they're hearing it now.
Yeah. I won't say any names.
It was like when we were kids, we would love to have a camera taking pictures. And so, I'll take a picture or two, but to have just the whole time, it drives me nuts.
The new thing and this is actually cool, that the other side of that is you can live FaceTime.
I do like that.
Video. So one of the fans is holding a camera while another fan's watching. And they're both watching the show together at the same time from the front row. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So you're reaching double the audience almost.
Yeah, that's
the other side.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I know.
It's a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah. The other thing I don't like, and I make Spade throw a pick at him, there's a girl that 2 weeks ago was just sitting there on her phone. I'm like, why are you at the show if you're not even watching? I'm like, Spade, hit her with the pick. Bow! And he got her. I'm like, there you go.
Send one across her bow.
Yes.
Yeah. She was hot. She knew it. She didn't like 80s rocks or 80s metal, and I'm just like, then why are you here, man? Why are you here? Because your friends are here? Come on. I'm going to hit on you later, but what's going on?
Nice. That wraps it up. That was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
We're good.
It's a great interview.
All right, once again, that was Sam and Chris from 3D in Your Face. Yeah, the guitarist and the bassist. Two great dudes. Very happy to get to know them a little bit and be able to talk to them for a while. And we were fortunate enough to be able to catch both their sets at Rocklahoma.
Yeah, they were just... and it just reaffirmed everything once we saw them live.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was just high energy and just flawlessly executed.
Yeah. Yeah. These dudes out of the heartland, kind of like we are.
Yeah.
We're from Oklahoma here, but they're from Nebraska.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see high energetic rock and roll coming from this area of the country. And one of the highlights of both sets, I think, was when Sam took over vocals for their song Memphis Mile from the new album. That's just such a great song, and it's just full of, I love all their music, but it just totally changes the whole feel of everything because it's got that total raw punk feel to it.
That's right.
And it's another one, kind of like we talked about with Torpedohead earlier. It's going to be in your head after you hear it, And
oh, yeah, definitely.
But this whole band's phenomenal, and vocals are phenomenal, and we just, like I said in the Rocklahoma review, I'm glad that they exceeded my expectations or hope of what they would be as a live band.
Yeah.
You can see why these guys have been around and playing so consistently for several years. And
oh, no kidding. And you see the look, and there's one thing that people might think, but you have to go a little deeper because these guys work hard and they're not fucking around. and it comes through in the music.
Definitely. So once again, thanks to Sam and Chris for taking the time and doing a little lengthier interview than they probably did for most other people. So we're very pleased and happy that got to happen. So, and we hope to see them at next year's Rocklahoma as well.
Oh, for sure.
And hopefully somewhere in between there. That'd be great. Well, like we mentioned earlier, that was the first one that we're bringing to you of several that were recorded at Rocklahoma. We've got one from the Attic Chick, who's got a great new book out. We've got one from The Devil You Adore. And we've got one with Devin Micah, the vocalist from Micah. And then, of course, we've got Sam McCaslin from Retrospect Records coming here within 2 or 3 weeks. And, of course, we've always got other stuff up our sleeves and ready to come.
You never know.
From all different directions on this stuff. 66 previous episodes. We've had guys from Warrant and Europe and Sons of Texas and Crowbar and Battlecross and Overkill. And the list
goes on. COC
keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. Drowning Pool. Did you
Yeah.
already just say Drowning Pool?
No, I didn't.
See, there you go.
Right on. TheThunderUnderground.com is where all this stuff is housed. We're on Facebook /The Thunder Underground, at The Thunder Underground on YouTube, and at The Thunder Underground on Instagram. THNDRUNDR Ground on Twitter. Thunder Underground on Periscope. And that leaves SoundCloud.com /Thunder-Underground, where all these episodes are hosted. So you got anything else? Any other pearls of wisdom before we...
No, other than,
get out of here?
like and share, and thanks for listening.
Yes, definitely. If you're listening to this because you're a 3D in Your Face fan, I hope you, like I mentioned, Warrant in Europe right off the top. Those are right up your alley, I would assume.
That's right.
Go back and check those out. And we had an episode where we just talked about Guns N' Roses like a year ago.
Oh, yeah. Just tell all your friends.
Yeah. And we hope that you tune in for episode 68 and beyond.
Of course.
Yep. All right. So until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.